It's day 4 of DMM AllStars, and I am more than likely the lowest combat level in the game. Everybody rushes combats early on, but I was having fun doing quests and skills for the team. However, I've reached that point where I'm supposed to start training combats for the finals. The Warriors Guild is a free place to train. It's a safe area, and of course, it gives us a Dragon Defender should we want to train elsewhere. Defender drops are affected by the universal drop rate buff 6 times, so getting to Dragon only took me about 30 minutes from Bronze. I tried my luck dare rocking in the Warriors Guild for combat XP, and I don't know, it just felt really slow. It was about 2 mil an hour melee XP. I then remembered that you actually gain max hits and dare rocks from leveling hit points, so I went back to the Dark Warriors Fortress and decided to finish off 99 magic on defensive here for the free hit points levels. While the magic XP here is kind of useless, it is good to know that I can essentially barrage on defensive for 2.1 mil an hour, the same melee XP an hour as dare rocking. Long overdue, but finally, here is 99 magic. After that, I tried dare rocking one more time in the Warriors Guild and I was getting about 2.2 mil an hour. It's still not the greatest, it just felt really slow and boring. Specs was getting a little worried about our supply and emblem drops, which I do not get either of in the Warriors Guild since it's a safe zone. So he asked me nicely to train somewhere else for drops, and I figured I'd try out the Dark Warriors with melee. Because the Dragon Halberd had an AoE spec, it went a long way here, and carried most of our XP rate. Whenever I had 30%, I would drop a quick spec on as many warriors as I could. The Darox was extremely inaccurate due to their high defense, but the XP rate, thanks to the Halberd, was at least slightly better than the Warriors Guild. The clips went a little out of order here, so bear with me, but we did manage to get a Dragon Hunter crossbow from raids. This raised the question to the whole team: do we want Dragon Bolts? And if so, where do we get them? Nobody wanted to do Colosseum, and the second choice was to do Dragon Slayer 2, which requires 200 quest points. Now, I already completed Lunars, which is a pre-requirement of Dragon Slayer anyway, so why not just do a bunch of quests for points and I can full send DS2 for us. With that in mind, I went on a questing spree, including all free-to-play quests such as Vampire Slayer. I was also our supply for Ruby and Diamond Bolts that everybody needed for whatever type of PVM they were doing. So whenever somebody got Ruby or Diamonds, they would chuck me the gems for the bolt tips. West Ham's at Canifis Bank, he just hit me.
Canifis Bank? I just tell it down.
Time to rescue the spine, bro.
Do you know how to escape?
I'm bank tanking right now. I don't have that much food right now, and I'm kind of fucked up the thing.
His VLS is the main threat.
You can do the agility course here, but you might get frozen there.
JCW, let's get rid of that raw chicken! What the fuck?
Careful.
I don't have restores. I don't have fucking restores.
I'm already here, bro. One sec.
We can't do anything.
Get your prayers on. Pray me.
I don't have restores, dude. I'm dead. My first death outside of breaches. You might be wondering, why was I in Canifis buying raw chickens anyway? I needed them for a quest, but the bigger mistake I made was casually clicking the bank and then going AFK to read the wiki. You live and learn though. This was my bank key, and as you can see, I really didn't lose that much. The bigger loss was having to get those raw chickens back for the quest. Speaking of quests, on my road to 200 quest points, I decided to do Friendly Exiles for the Slayer XP, as that is currently my lowest skill. 1 mil Slayer XP, that is the proper way to train Slayer in DMM. This also put us at 1950 total level. The next morning, I got my hands on the Dragon Hunter crossbow, so I decided to finish off Dragon Slayer 2 along with camping Vorkath for those Dragon Bolts. That is Galvek dead, and Dragon Slayer 2 completed. I got a lot of random skill XP rewards from that, but more importantly, there was combat XP to be rewarded. I just had to claim it inside the guild. And of course, while I was trying to claim my combat XP, the only other person in the game with access to the mid-skilled Guns Chili shows up. I wasn't really sure what to do, so I just waited a few minutes in hopes that he would be gone. A few minutes later, I made my way back, and since we still had to actually hunt the chins, I decided to put the lamps on ranged. 4 times 25k XP lamps, which might not sound like a lot, but in this game mode, every quest XP reward is a lot. That is 2 mil range XP with the 20x multiplier. Now, it was finally time for Vorkath. These dragon bolts drop at a rate of 1 in 18, however, every kill we get is 2 rolls on the table, so it's really only a 1 in 9 drop rate. This really shouldn't take too long. I have no idea where the clip is, but Sicknerd and Bodhi have been doing a fantastic job farming chambers the last few days, and they've managed to get the team 5 riggers and 4 auguries. So these kills are quite fast with rigor thanks to them. I used the bone drops from my first kill to make super anti-fires to make the future kills easier. Oh my god, Odablock is camping outside the house in Relica, so I decided to go do something else for a bit. And by something else, I meant to use my house portal to Lunar Isle as another way to get to Vorkath. Lunar Isle itself is not safe, although you do need lunar diplomacy to get there, and I'm pretty sure Odablock does not have that. And then once I spawn in Relica, that area is guarded, so I'm safe. With that being my strategy of banking, the Vorkath grind continues. Yo, Dragon Bolts! Unfortunately, I did only get 53. I'll finish this trip, and if we need more, I'll do more. Yo, Dragon Bolts unfinished, 57 this time. I now had a total of 110 Dragon Bolts, and I had enough remaining food for one more kill, so I decided to finish off the trip. Dragon Bolts unfinished, 57, we're done. With a total of 167 Dragon Bolts now, and 1 day until the weekends, I've supplied all that I could help my team with, and the team and I decided that I'd go have fun. I am going to get a woodcutting cape for the finals. Before we do 99 woodcutting though, we are about to go to the final breach. So far, every breach has been in the wilderness. We want our final breach to be a good one. As a matter of fact, we need our final breach to be a good one. So we all met nice and early in the level 2 wilderness away from other teams.
Alright, here we go.
Heights! Wait, our house is in Assidious! Our house is in Assidious! I don't know if I was just crazy lucky, but right before this breach, we all decided to move our POH to somewhere obscure, hoping that no other teams would ever be outside. I chose Assidious to be our location, and Jagex must have heard me or something, because now the breach was right there. Now we weren't quite the first team here, although we were still here early. It was multi at the Sand Crabs, which is where we are now, and then slightly north on the greener floor, it was singles. We were just trying our best to kill NPCs before most other teams got here.
Off. West Ham team is north. We're gonna get sandwiched. We need to get out of here now. Them fight each other. We'll come back in a bit.
They froze me.
I'm coming back. Come back. Help Adam. Help Adam.
Oh my god. Top versus teams initiated.
I'm frozen.
On per.
We need specs. Where is he?
Bro, don't call, right? Just call, bro. Just call.
JCW and get out. 3 people on JCW and get out.
After this tank and multi, I was already low on food, and I honestly think most of our team was low. We made our escape more to the west, and then, remember guys, if you've ever done Sand Crabs, there's a bank here.
Exactly.
I need to get supplies. We need to.
Wait, there's a bank over here.
Yeah, all the way up.
Go to the bank. Good call, JC. Well done.
Shockingly, we were the only team the entire breach that used this bank, I believe. But as soon as we all restocked, we made our way back ready for more drops. Mr. Mammal got Morrigan's throwing axes from Supreme, but the drop was in multi and he was in singles and frozen, so we waited out the minute for the drop to spawn and then Donator yoinked it. A little more south, while all the other teams were fighting near singles, there was a huge clump of monsters that we managed to hit. We also managed to freeze on solo mission in multi and he was all alone, although unfortunately we did not get the kill. Once solo mission went away, we were able to finish off Curl and actually got a drop.
Trinket advanced referee, right? Beautiful. Get that shit, buddy.
Then we lured some more NPCs over and got another trinket from the Cave Abomination.
Trinket, another trinket. Sigma, get that shit.
Get it.
And the biggest drop so far, we got Azuriel's staff. We banked one last time, and now it was mostly teams versus teams. There wasn't really any more NPCs. I managed to bring 20k out of my bank for a cheeky escape. Because I was Scold, I couldn't necessarily teleport to a bank yet, so I just had to wait out on this island until my skull ended. Meanwhile, Sickener landed one clean Dark Ghost spec right before leaving.
Shit. I hit the crab!
Afterwards, we all met up at the GE, and that was the final breach done. We had 0 deaths, 3 drops. Overall, we were very happy. Fossil Island Teaks, one of the best going methods in the game. 3 days ago, my team was able to supply me with teak seeds. The teak trees take 74 hours to grow. That's nearly half of the week. The servers close in less than 24 hours from now, but thankfully, with 1.5 tick woodcutting, 99 shouldn't take too long. I did, however, decide, for the sake of total levels, that I'm going to fire make my teak logs while I'm here, as I'm not expecting anybody to show up anyway. 92 woodcutting and Foe showed up. I was a little confused as to why he was on Fossil Island, though to be fair, he probably had the exact same thought process as to why somebody was 1.5 tick woodcutting in a PvP game mode. After that, I didn't want to get scouted or attacked, so I made my way back to the Corrupted Gauntlet to maybe spoon a Bofa and use it in the finals. I got spooned a lot of armor seeds, totaling 8 by the time I gave up. I did this up until 48kc, and then I got bored and wanted to go back to skilling. At the very least, I can now say I could wear a full crystal armor set if needed for the finals. So, knowing I had full crystal armor, and also knowing that I didn't want to pass my CG KC on the main game in a seasonal game mode, I decided to make my way back to Teaks and finish off 99 woodcutting. Now knowing that I could potentially be scouted here, I am focused a little more on woodcutting, though whenever I want to read chat, I usually burn some logs just because it's more AFK. And just barely an hour later, here is 99 woodcutting. Now, the final day, I really was just chilling for the most part. We had some leftover grape drops from PVM that the team gave me, so I decided to make some wines for cooking XP. Alright boys, get ready for the XP drop. 2.1 million cooking XP, and instant level 89. Earlier on before this, I've also managed 99 herblore and thieving, both of which I cannot seem to find clips for. The only skill left at this point under level 80 is runecrafting, and I decided, just for the sake of it, I'll try to get base 80s, as the library for runecrafting XP with infinite run isn't that slow anyway. A full hour done, and honestly with this XP rate, we're getting 58k an hour if this were the main game. I'm surprised at how decent runecrafting XP the library is nowadays. Here we go, level 80 runecrafting and level 80 base stats. It really is just a matter of training some combats for the final at this point, and now that I'm 80 Slayer, I decided to throw some black chins at Necros. These black chins that Bodhi provided us got us to level 95 range for the final. Meanwhile, back at Dark Warriors, I was AFKing too much and didn't notice that V the Victim was about to attack me. Oh my god, that was so lucky that I didn't die. The servers close in roughly 3 hours. I finished off 96 defense and then decided to call it there. There wasn't really much left for me to do, but the team did need me logged on for my POH, so I decided to do some random skilling methods. I got level 90 cooking, 89 fishing, and then it was finally time to call it. You see, every player in this game mode was told that we are only allowed to play 120 hours throughout the whole week. If I stayed logged in until the end, I would have 121 hours. So for the final 2 hours, I'm sitting at my PC, logging in when my teammates need my POH for teleports, and then logging out. When it came time to submit the final setups, this is what I had. I rocked full Darox, full crystal with a normie crystal bow, and a bulwark. We did not necessarily max, but we did get 2126 total, which is good enough for me, and should be by far the highest in the league. The burgers did unfortunately seed last, however, we were all very happy with the week and really excited to play in the finals. This is my entire team setup, and our gear is not the greatest because Donator accidentally died with everything the day before. However, he was now rocking a Brudu shield that I made from my Gout Tuber grind. With 15 minutes left until the servers closed, I found Skiddler training firemaking at their GE and did my best to protect my rank 1 total level. And so, that finally brings us to the finals. 1v1s, 5 players on each team. The first team we went up against is the Dino Nuggets, which actually turns out to be the winners of the entire tournament, so go figure with our luck in placing. The first fight ended with Mutz killing Ray. Unfortunately, the Brutal Shield was not strong enough. Donator at least used most of Mutz's food, so Sickner was able to finish him off. And then came West Ham. Now, I'm not gonna lie, West Ham was constantly finding and attacking the burgers during the week, and he is a very good PKer. Given the first part of that sentence, mentally, I don't think our team was ready to fight him. Sickner tried his best, but unfortunately, West Ham killed him. At this point, I turned my brain off and was just getting hyped for the fight, fully assuming that Bodhi would finish off West Ham. And then, the worst thing happened. West Ham killed Bodhi, and then I was up. I did not have much GPS, it was mostly tankier and relying on vengeance. I camped prey melee for a decent amount of time because I knew West Ham had a VLS which would tear through me. The biggest mistake I've made was completely forgetting about vengeance. I vengeanced way before the fight, and when I was practicing earlier, my roommate kept telling me when 30 seconds would pass. But because I pre-venged a couple minutes ago, I never got the notification, so I just completely forgot to venge again. At the very least, we had him out of food, and I thought for sure that we would get the kill. And then my Darox hit a 0. And another 0. Ghost Specs then came in, and he did a very good job because he is able to say that he killed West Ham. And not only that, but those 2 Darox zeros that I hit were so that Specs could take it home, and he managed to chop Dino a 35. That was our round 1, and fortunately enough, even though we lost, we do have another chance. Our second round, we were going against the Oda Block Warriors, who later go on to place second in the whole tournament. Ray's Brutal Shield unfortunately was not enough to kill Guns Chili, but it did get him close. Sickner then came in, and he was able to finish off Guns Chili, and then went up against Reese. Reese was somebody that we knew to be afraid of, similar to West Ham, as he had a lot of PKing experience behind him and overall was a really good PKer. The burgers were hungry though, because while Reese did kill Sick Nerd did a phenomenal job using all of Reese's food, leaving Bodhi to quickly finish the kill. Bodhi did not let Sick Nerd's play go to waste. He was also going to be going nuclear in this fight. He finished off Reese, and then had to kill V the victim using only 7 food. Bodhi's clicks continued to go absolutely insane, and he managed to take down V the victim while still having 2 foods remaining. It was looking good for us. It was only a cold one and Otoblock left. Bodhi managed to continue the DPS and even got a cold one down to 2 foods remaining. Things were looking very good for us. I was motivated to do well. This time, I was going to remember my venges, which are super important, because while I may not have much PK potential, my main purpose and goal in these final fights was to drain the enemy's food as much as I can. With a cold one dead, I tried my best to do the woodcutting emote on him for the team, but unfortunately, I panicked a little. I didn't exactly expect to get this far, but now I was fighting Otoblock. Similar to West Ham, I was terrified. All I had to do was stay alive and attack as much as I could. I just didn't do that well. The VLS absolutely shredded through everything. And the final fight for the burgers, a 1v1 of skill specs versus Otoblock. But I don't think anyone, including ourselves, expected this to be as close as it is right now. At the very least, Otoblock used all 4 of his VLS specs against me, so skill specs had that advantage. Skill specs got Otoblock down to 1 food before dying, and honestly, even though we lost the whole tournament and came in 6th place, I would consider this a win. And so, there we have it. The end of DMM AllStars for the Bodhi Burgers. I had a fantastic time playing with my team, and I am super grateful for anybody who watched live or the YouTube videos. It was a fantastic run. Don't forget that Deadman Armageddon is starting on July 19th, and if you want to play Deadman as well, you can. I know I will be. Feel free to drop a comment, like the video, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.